Turn up the AC hot takes. You know what it is. It's your boy Fernando Jr. Vargas Dynasty going up. Don't act like you don't know. We're the only three brothers that really running shit in the boxing game. You know?
Halfway through the fourth. Whoa! Big shot. What was that? Vargas.
Welcome to another installment of Turn Up the AC Hot Takes with Reason on a solo edition. Now, we talking about Fernando Vargas Jr. improving to 17-0 with 15 knockouts against Gonzalo Coria, who falls to 23-8, and this is the third time he's been stopped. This was a step up in competition for Fernando Vargas Jr. First of all, I want to start out by saying shout out to Fernando Vargas Jr. He gave the first ever shout out to my channel that I've ever gotten when I was at the David Benavidez and David Morrell fight for the weigh-in back in February. So shout out to Fernando Vargas Jr. for that. He's in the 154-pound division, super welterweight. He weighed in at just under 152 pounds, around 151.5. So he's pretty light for the division. His opponent, Coria, came in at over the weight limit. I believe he weighed in at about a 155, just about a pound over the weight limit. But we still had a fight, still went on. And it ended up being Fernando Vargas Jr. getting the stoppage and in the fourth round. So let's talk about it, man. So Southpaw versus Southpaw matchup. This was a big step up in competition for Fernando Vargas Jr. There's been a lot of people talking that he's too old to be considered a prospect. He's too old to not fight anybody. And this was the first step up in real step up in competition for him. And I thought he did well. He utilized his jab. He fought behind his jab. He threw the jab up high, and then he threw the jab to the body. First couple of rounds, he was using it a lot. And he was using some good boxing abilities. I thought Coria was trying to rough him up a little bit, trying to stay on him, trying to force the issue, trying to knock him out because he knew he wouldn't win a decision. And, you know, he pushed Fernando Vargas Jr. early, and I saw some adjustments being made by Vargas Jr. His pops in the corner just before, I believe, round 3 or 4. He told him, like, yo, he's not respecting your power. He's not respecting what you can do. Go get him. And that's exactly what he did. He went out and got him. So early on in the fight, I thought, like I said, he worked behind his jab well. I thought he did some good things. He took the shots from Coria well. But, you know, Gonzalo Coria is not known as a big power puncher like that. But I still thought, you know, Vargas took the punches well. He handled the power well in this step up in competition. It's not like Coria is some scrub. He just, you know, just had an upset victory in his last fight against another undefeated, you know, fighter who was 14-0 at the time. So, you know, anything can happen in the sport of boxing. And shout out to Fernando Vargas Jr. for being able to withstand the pressure from Coria. And like I said, utilize his jab. He did that beautifully. He boxed beautifully. There's a couple of, you know, there's some flaws in there that I've seen, but that's going to happen, you know, especially when you move up in competition and you start to fight, you know, better, stronger guys. They're going to expose some of your flaws, and whether they have the ability to take advantage of those flaws or not, you know, has yet to be seen. But you know, there's definitely going to be some stuff that he has to work at. And I'm sure when he goes back and watches the film for what happened with him and Coria, him and his pops, you know, Fernando Vargas Sr., they're going to go to the drawing board and make some corrections. There's a couple of things I saw with when he's throwing a counter, when he steps to the right out of the way to counter with the right hand. A lot of the time he dropped his, you know, his left hand, so leaving him open for a counter. And if Coria had more power than what he actually has, who knows, maybe he could have, you know, floored Vargas Jr. So, you know, this is one of the things that I saw from him. But I do like what he did coming into round 3. He stopped trying to just box so much and move around, and he started to, like, stay in front of Coria a little bit more and started to really sit down on his punches. And I thought early in round 3, he threw a nice 1-2, and that he caught Coria's attention. And, you know, he threw a few beautiful, like, 3-punch combinations here, and then 2 3-punch combinations there. And in that third round, and I thought he started getting into a little bit of a rhythm, and we started to see, you know, the skill set start to show itself from Fernando Vargas Jr. And I think this kid is pretty talented, man. He's not a kid. He's 27, 28 years old. But, you know, I think he's talented. And he, after the fight, now we're going into round 4. He went into round 4, and he was pressing the issue on Coria. And him and Coria both exchanged some shots. I believe it was like a right hand each. But Fernando Vargas' right hand hurt Coria, and he stunned him. Vargas saw it, came in, and then finished him off with a strong left hand. And then he put Coria on the ground, and then Coria didn't respond to the count. He got up, but he didn't want no more smoke. He took a beating, and once Fernando Vargas Jr. started to like force the issue and really throw power shots and sit down on his punches and stop moving around so much, he was able to put Coria away shortly thereafter. So after the fight, you know, they interviewed Fernando Vargas Jr., talked about the Vargas dynasty, talked about his brothers. One thing I do love about Fernando Vargas Jr., every time I see him talking or whatever, he's quick to praise his brothers. He's quick to praise his dad. And I love that. I respect the hell out of that. Shout out to the Vargas dynasty, man. I hope and pray that y'all brothers continue to excel, continue to do your thing in the game of boxing, because I love seeing it, man. I'm a very family-oriented person, so I love to see that relationship, that dynamic between, you know, Pops and then his 3 boys. You know what I'm saying? 3 young men in the sport of boxing, and I wish all y'all the best. Shout out to the Vargas dynasty. Yo, this is going to be like the unofficial YouTube channel for the Vargas dynasty, bro, because Fernando Vargas Jr., like I said, he gave me my first shout out. That's what you see at the beginning of my videos now, that clip, little 9 seconds. Gave me my first interview. It was like one question, but still, I was new to this, you know, interviewing stuff, and he allowed me to ask him a question, and he was so, you know what I'm saying, like, respectful to us, you know what I'm saying, the nobodies, you know what I'm saying, who were there in attendance. So shout out to Fernando Vargas Jr. I'm covering your fights. I'm covering Amato. I'm talking Emiliano, all y'all, the whole Vargas dynasty. Every time y'all fight, y'all gonna hear about it here. Reason is covering that. I'm not doing this for nothing. I'm just doing this out of the respect, out of, you know, for you shouting out my channel, Fernando Vargas Jr. So shout out to you, boy. And you did your thing. After the fight, he called out Zayas, and he even mentioned Sebastian Fundora's name. Now, the Fundora fight, probably not going to happen, because there's a good chance that Sebastian Fundora and Tim Tszyu are going to be fighting next. And so, hey, Zayas, Fernando Vargas Jr., ain't no reason that fight can't happen next. And, you know, I'm all for that, because it's just Fernando Vargas Jr. continuing to step up in the competition, and hopefully the competition leads to just him being able to display more of the abilities that he has. So I just want to drop my thoughts and do this first and definitely not the last video about the Vargas dynasty. So shout out to you, Fernando Vargas Jr. Shout out to your dad, and shout out to your brothers, man. Shout out to the whole Vargas dynasty. I met all of them, including their pops, at the Benavidez Morale weigh-in. They were mad cool. Much love to those brothers, man, straight up. So shout out to you, Fernando Vargas Jr. Looking forward to what you got going on next. Got the knockout in 4 rounds against Coria. You know, definitely a step up in the competition for who he's fought. Fernando Vargas Jr. is now 17-0, 15 knockouts. He wants Zayas next. He even mentioned Sebastian Fundora. He said anybody at 54 can get it. So those of y'all who are calling him out for not fighting nobody, he's with all the smoke. He wants all the smoke now. What we gonna say next? So shout out to Fernando Vargas Jr. This has been Reason. Turn up the AC Hot Takes. Let me know who you want to see him fight next. You think Zayas, that's the fight to go with? Let me know what's up, man. Who you want to see him fight next? And what'd you think of the fight, man? And are y'all here for the Vargas dynasty? Let me know what's up, man. Are they legit? Are they hype? Tell me. Let me know what's up. But one thing's for sure, they gonna get the support here, because I just respect it. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the Vargas dynasty. Shout out to you, Fernando Vargas Jr., for getting this victory. And until next time, this has been Reason. Turn up the AC Hot Takes. We're out.